Wow! Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling is Trash, the nonsensical podcast where we talk everything professional wrestling, past, present, and quite possibly the future. I'm one of your co-hosts of Wrestling is Trash, Nick Anicelli, Trash Boy numero uno, coming to you live today on another Trash Tuesday. We'll talk everything professional wrestling. From all the news going on, how to conduct yourself on Twitter at one point. We're going to talk about that. And unlike Cody Rhodes, we will finish our story by finishing this episode today. But will he? We will talk about that and so much more. But before I do that, I got to ask Lou, how are you doing? But before you go into that, we have the Super Bowl on Sunday. Who are you pulling for, but who do you think gets the W?
Oh, wow. That's a loaded question. I'll tell you straight up, I don't give a shit. Once I'm the type of person that once my team is out of playoff contention or even seasonal contention, because my team's been out of this since maybe week 4 or 5, we've been out of it. So, Giants fan, of course, for those of you who don't know. So I'm the type of person, like, I'm a prime hater, bro. If my team's not playing, I don't care. I'll watch the game, but I really don't care. What ends up happening for me is that I'll watch the game, and then whoever's losing, I cheer for that team because, like, I like to see the losing team like come back and win. That's what ends up happening every time. That's what happened last week when I was watching the Chiefs, and they were like destroying this other team. I was like, bro, I was like, okay, come on, let's go, let's try to get them to come back, and like, it's silly. So honestly, I don't care. It's 49ers and the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
I guess if I had to pick one, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'd go with the Chiefs just because I don't mind like this dynasty thing. Like, people get mad when there's like dynasties because it's like not their team. And I don't understand that shit. Because if it was your team, you'd be fucking super stoked and you'd want to see a dynasty instead of a different team winning every week, right? So you would know about dynasties. Your team won like fucking 2,000 Super Bowls.
I know about it.
Yeah, so it's like I don't really mind the dynasties. They don't bother me. I'm an NFC guy, so I'm not an AFC guy. So I don't really care that the Chiefs have been dominating and all that shit. So, I'll go for them. I don't got a problem with them.
I'm going for the Niners because I love George Kittle.
Nice.
He's a wrestling mark himself. Remind me to tell you, I don't know if you saw a video of, they asked him yesterday.
I did see that.
Which I thought was dope. Like,
very cool crossover.
We're going to get into it after. We're going to try to stay on topic with saving that for last. But this thing picked up legs everywhere. But I'm pulling for the Niners because, like I said, George Kittle. But also, I'm pulling for my stomach because, man, I love food on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like that's like universal. Like, even I feel the healthiest of gym rats cave in on the Super Bowl. Like, more people cave in on the Super Bowl than they do like Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I'm going to my boy's house. We're making like burgers, hot dogs. His wife, they're Mexican, so she makes like all like homemade tortillas.
Oh my god!
Shit. So like in heaven, I'm already amped for it. So pretty amped for that. But
yeah, my homeboy, he so it kind of sucks for me because my homeboys all live about an hour from me. So I got to work Monday morning at 5 a.m. And unfortunately, I'm the boss. So I can't call in sick on Super Bowl Sunday like I used to when I was just a regular ass employee.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to go over there to their house, to his house, and hang out, watch the Super Bowl, because we're going to drink. We're going to hang out afterwards. We're going to get silly. Then next thing I know, it's like 11 o'clock. I got an hour drive home. I got to be up at 5. Like, it's just, I'm not a young man anymore, Nick, so I can't be doing these things. But I will say that I really hate the fact that I'm probably not going to go to his house because my homeboy's Filipino. And oh my God, bro, this dude is like a master chef. Like, he's not even, he's an accountant, but he went into the wrong field because he's literally like a master chef, bro. He makes like homemade egg rolls. And I mean, like, he rolls the egg rolls. Like, you know what I mean?
Master of his craft.
He makes this shit called pansat, which is like it's like a pasta. It's like a pasta dish, a Philippine pasta dish. It's so good, bro. The noodles are like so light. And I know you're an Italian guy, you're all about the pasta.
Yeah.
I'm very picky when it comes to pasta. Like, if it's too thick, I can't. Like, I don't enjoy it because I have like texture issues. But pansat is like the noodles are so thin, and it has like
Okay.
it has the vegetables mixed into it. Dude, it's delicious. And it's like it kind of sucks that I'm not gonna go over there.
Yeah.
But I'll be all right.
See, that's the good thing about being in Cali. The Super Bowl starts here at 3:30.
Damn, bro. See that shit? That's some bullshit, bro. But it starts here at 6:30. So then by the time it's over with everything, it's like 10, maybe 10 o'clock or something like that when it's over, I guess, the whole spectacle of it.
We'll see what Usher does at halftime.
And then it's what's funny about it too is the Super Bowl is like when your team, I know a lot of people don't get to experience this, but like when your team's in the Super Bowl and they win, I was up all night watching every post game, every interview, every backstage thing. I watched the whole NBC thing. Then I went to ESPN and I literally had that shit on all night. Then I went to NFL Network and I was up till like 5 a.m, bro, just watching everything that they had to offer.
And just like wrestling, if there are wrestling fans listening that don't watch football, it's WrestleMania. You know what I mean? So like you're hyped watching this game, so especially when it's that's the difference between, I guess, WrestleMania and like the NFL, like Super Bowl. Like you have someone probably fighting at Mania that you're into, but with the Super Bowl, it's only 2 teams. Yeah, dude, it's freaking great. I'm excited. 2 teams, 2 rivals going at it. Friends on the other team, friends not. We kind of can start. We had a big heel turn on Sunday.
Yes, we did.
Vengeance Day. Carmelo Hayes turned on Trick Williams.
The trigger.
Yeah, people were saying that Rob sent a thing in the group chat. Carmelo Hayes was just like Shawn Michaels when he did the turn on Jannetty.
Yeah.
If that was planned, that is kind of cool. I will say that. But I'm excited. I'm assuming this is probably Melo's last feud, right? Before the main roster. Trick, he probably puts Trick over and then Melo moves up.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought Melo was like already gonna move up because honestly, I haven't really been watching NXT. And I sent you that text message on Sunday. I was like, oh shit, there's a pay-per-view tonight. There's an NXT pay-per-view. I didn't even fucking paying attention. So it was cool because I literally had nothing to watch Sunday night. I was like sitting here like, what do I watch? And then like at 6:30, I saw the Vengeance Day promo thing, and I was like, oh shit. So listen, fuck all that bullshit. I thought Melo was already moving up. It looks like maybe this will be the last feud before he goes up and gets called up. But fuck all that. I want to say that it's February 6th, and we've already got a solid 4 or 5 matches of the year contenders just in a month. Okay. Yes. And one of those completely out of left field that caught me was Ilya Dragunov and Trick Williams. Bro,
I love that match.
That is a match of the year contender, and y'all could argue with your fucking fathers if you don't agree. I don't give a shit. That match was tremendous, dude. Ilya Dragunov is, bro, I'm so scared. I'm so scared of him going to the main roster. Like, I'm terrified because, he's a smaller dude and he gets away with that shit in NXT. But when you go to the main roster and you got your Bobby Lashley's and your Randy Orton's and your 6'5", 6'7" guys, like, I know they're going to have trouble booking this dude, but bro, I feel like he should just go to the main roster and be the one to defeat fucking Gunther for the title.
Oh, 100%.
They should do that.
I'm 100% on board. That's what, honestly, the way the match was going, I was like, I could have saw Trick winning, and now that Lesnar is out of the picture.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm all in favor of, like, having someone just out of nowhere gets like an NXT talent come in and beat Gunther.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's boom, you got a star right there. Right then and there, you got a star. So if you had him or Braun Breaker, even like, yo, you got a star. Yeah, dude, that was a great match. I'm excited to see Melo and Trick go at it. I think it's going to be good. I think when friends feud, as we've seen in NXT with Gargano and Ciampa, like that was a great rivalry back then.
Yeah, it's one of those tropes that's like, I mean, I don't want to say it's like a WWE thing, but it's like sometimes you just like, you don't have to break everyone up and make them fight, but it's almost like you have to do it. But like at the same time, it's like, no, you don't really have to do it. Like you really don't. Like you could have just had Trick and Carmelo split amicably and do their own thing, which I think they kind of did for a little bit. They kind of just went their separate ways or whatever, and then they kind of got back together. But again, the matches should be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be dope. One thing I'll say about the NXT shows before we move on, I don't watch NXT weekly. Half the reason, shit, we record during some of it, to be honest.
Right.
But those PLEs always are good. Like even Lola Vice, like she's looking a lot better.
Oh yeah.
You know, obviously I'm very biased. She's my current wrestling crush, but like her in ring's getting a lot better too.
Oh yeah. I could have sworn she was gonna win that match the way they did everything. Like she basically cashed in her Money in the Bank and shit. Yeah. I thought she was gonna win. I really was like looking for her to steal that championship.
And then our boy Obafemi's dominating.
That entrance is hard, bro. That entrance, the way he almost like, it's funny. Some guys walk out and they don't really walk out to like their beat of their song or whatever. And he literally walks out. It's like his music is part of like his whole, like he walks out to the beat of the music. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like he's 100% going to be NXT champion at some point.
Oh yeah, they might even double champ him. Do the Keith Lee.
They did. They pull the Keith Lee.
I don't see why not. I don't see why they don't do it. They should.
Yep.
Let Dragunov have his run for a bit. You know, you don't got to rush it. You don't have to do it now, but give Dragunov his run for a little bit. Call him up, but let Obafemi be the one to take the title, and then they can call him up.
Yep.
Because he's the one, bro. He is the fucking one.
Yep.
I can't wait for him to go to the main roster, bro.
Because the next big show they have is Stand and Deliver. And are you a fan of them doing the NXT show at like noon the day of WrestleMania?
I don't like that shit because it's almost like,
I'll tell you right now, I'm not watching it that day.
Well, the thing is, what sucks is that WrestleMania is 2 nights, so they used to have those NXT pay-per-views Saturday, and then they would have their big WrestleMania on Sunday, which was great because you kind of like you get warmed up, and then the NXT show was always like, we got something to prove. We're gonna show you that we're the main attraction this weekend, and they will have bomb ass pay-per-views every time, and then you'd have WrestleMania, which is the spectacle. So. I get why WrestleMania has to be 2 nights, whatever. I get it. It makes more sense than having a 9-hour Sunday pay-per-view. But I do miss the days of having your NXT pay-per-view Saturday night and then WrestleMania Sunday. Because I'm not watching that shit I'm sorry. I got to get ready for WrestleMania. I got to get all my other shit done and then watch the main show. Like, I can't watch wrestling at noon and then all fucking day there's no way.
Because that week in general, because like obviously like with Raw, like I don't watch the whole thing all the time, but like that's the go home for Mania, so I'm gonna probably watch Raw. And then we record Tuesday. Dynamite's gonna be Wednesday.
NXT Tuesday.
Yeah. Then take a breather Thursday, because I probably won't watch like anything. But then Friday you got to go home for Smack. You think
if you're an Impact guy, you got Impact on Thursdays.
But do you think AEW does a Collision against WrestleMania? They've done it against
Probably. Bro, Collision on Saturday is a terrible idea, bro.
That's okay, I want to get this out the way now. They're going to be there. And I love AEW. I pay to go to their shows. I pay to watch pay-per-views, so this isn't no bias bullshit. I don't want to see tweets saying that Collision was better than WrestleMania.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's going to happen.
So Rumble, they had a Collision show and they had a pretty big show for.
It was a good show. I watched it.
Collision. Yeah, it was. And again, we talked about Rumble. Rumble, it was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't the best Rumble I've seen, but it was definitely entertaining. But was Collision better than Rumble? No.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Collision was good and Rumble was good, but I don't regret my decision of watching the Royal Rumble instead of watching Collision. I watched Collision Saturday, or when was it? I watched it Sunday morning over a bowl of cornflakes, and it was perfectly fine.
Bro, that's honestly the best time to watch Collision. Like, it's a Sunday morning, whether you're a social person, so you went out to the bars or whatever on Saturday night, or even shit like, you're just hanging out at home, you don't want to watch wrestling. Like, start Sunday off, have breakfast, watch. Like, I think it's dope. Like, I used to love what was the show called? It was a WWF show.
Superstars.
Huh?
Superstars.
So that was the thing. But no, I'm going even. This is like in the early 2000s. It was on Saturdays.
Oh shit! You're talking about the 2000s. I'm talking about the 80s.
Yeah, no. I'm talking like 2000s. It was like late 90s, 2000s. But it was like I don't know. It was like a recap show of the week where they showed everything. It was only like an hour long.
Yeah.
But like I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like watch that with like at my dad's house and have breakfast and watch.
I remember they used to show that. I remember that show. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about?
If it was Jacked or I don't know. It was called something, but I remember it coming on like I specifically remember trying to DVR like Raw, and that kept popping up. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And that's like an hour long. And I was like, oh, it's a recap show. I don't want to fucking see this.
Yeah.
I want to record Raw. So that's how I remember that show actually existed.
Yeah, so I remember watching that. But some good shit back in the day. You want to take the next one over here?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to throw this out here because I watched it today. I was able to watch this match because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I wasn't spoiled on the match, and I was actually surprised at the finish. But I just wanted to put this up here because, man, TNA rebranded about a month ago. And, bro, I know there's a lot of wrestling. I know there's a lot of shit to watch. And there's not a time to watch these things. But, dude, I'm telling you people out there who are listening, if you guys want an alternative to what's going on, TNA/Impact, they are having some fucking smackers right now. This is another match of the year contender that I watched today. And it was Josh Alexander versus Will Ospreay 2. Dude, the match was fucking phenomenal. Okay? For lack of a better word.
I gotta watch it.
One of my favorite thing about this match, and I won't spoil the ending or anything like that in case someone wants to see it, but there's a spot in the match where they had a table set up. So this is just a regular straight up match between two people. It's not like a no DQ table match or none of that shit. It's a straight up wrestling match. That's what this match was. So they did a clever thing where they managed to get a table involved in the match. They set a table up outside. Ospreay Tiger drivers Josh Alexander through the fucking table, right? Crazy spot. And the announcers made a point to say, he goes, oh, the referees made the decision to let this match continue, even though they've had a table in the match, because, you know, it's not a no DQ match. Why are they using tables? But the announcers made it a specific choice to actually say the referee's making the decision to let the match continue because we want to see a finish to this match, even though the table was involved. And if that's a good call by the referee, that little piece there,
that goes a long way.
That's fantastic because sometimes when you're watching, and I hate to say it, when you're watching AEW and John Moxley or whoever pulls out a fucking brass knuckles or a knife or whatever it is they're using on their opponent, and the referee's like, "Darn, what's going on here?" Oh, and this guy's literally stabbing the other wrestler and fucking with a weapon. And the Bryce Remsburg is fucking literally looking at him doing it, and he goes, "Hey, get that out of here!" And it's like, no, dude, you're supposed to disqualify that person because that's illegal. You're not supposed to do that. I know wrestling is scripted, but there's rules, and when you break those little rules like that, you fuck up the whole flow of the match. So, like that little piece in there. They didn't even need to do that, dude. Like, honestly, I was fine with the table spot. The table was set up outside. This guy took advantage on the outside, and he did a move through the fucking table. Technically, you don't have to be disqualified for that because it's not like he picked up a chair and hit him with it. So I was cool. But they still went the extra mile to be like, yo, that's illegal. But the ref is like, you know what? We're going to continue this match. And I really appreciated that. So anyway, bro, TNA's killing it. TNA is killing it. They got great talent. They have great matches, and it's fun. It's definitely fun.
Yeah, and now we're a CMLL and AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view is being talked about, which is great because I think the CMLL crossover so far has been great from what I've seen on TV.
Yeah,
I don't know your thoughts on it.
So I put this in the note. I put this in our notes because I don't know if I need this. I understand they're doing a working relationship with CMLL right now, and they're having them all over their TV. And I think the Blackpool Combat Cup is going to end up going over there at some point, like this weekend or next weekend for some type of match or something. And it's cool, but bro, I don't think I need a Forbidden Door pay-per-view with CML and AW because honestly, and this is gonna sound ignorant as fuck, I don't know any of those people in that promotion.
Yeah,
I don't know who any of these people are. I know who Mystico is because he used to be Sin Cara.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't know Hechishero. I never seen him before this past match, and the match was great with Danielson. I think the guy looked like a badass, super technical, all the shit I like. But like, I don't know that roster, and I don't want to have to pay for another fucking pay-per-view when it's like, some people that I don't know. And that might sound stupid, but like New Japan Forbidden Door, I at least, I know those top people over there. So you got me. You know what I mean? Even the lower card guys
it's just more people know New Japan talent than this group of talent.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know these guys. So
I'm just over the term Forbidden Door at this point.
Yeah, Triple H kind of killed that last week.
It's true though. Like in the beginning, I thought so, but now it's like everyone's working with everyone to some degree.
Yeah,
I still think it's a cool name for the pay-per-view. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's he decided to name his pay-per-view that, so it's gonna be around forever because you're just gonna keep calling it Forbidden Door 24, 25, or whatever. So it's never gonna go away.
Both of them have delivered heavily. So.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. Those pay-per-views are the shit. And I'm sure that if I watch this show, it'll be fantastic. I'm just like, dude, another pay-per-view? Like
I think they should just incorporate this with Forbidden Door.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If they do like a New Japan and CMLL together with AEW, that'd be cool.
Whether you go the route of a bunch of triple threats, or maybe some matches of AEW guys versus CMLL, then some versus New Japan.
I think that they'd be able to mix it up. You'd probably have like 2 or 3 triple threat matches, tag team, and etc. And some singles, some CML guys, some New Japan guys. I'm sure they could have a good card build up there. So I don't know. It's cool. Let's see what they do, what they come up with. I'm curious. Before we move on to the next story, I was gonna add this into the note, but I figured I'd add it here. So, Nick, this Wednesday, our boy has a huge announcement. What is this announcement going to be?
100% somehow related to Mercedes Moné. I'm 100% sticking to my gun with it.
Okay. I'm gonna go with an Okada either because bro, see, this is the thing with Mercedes, like that shit should be like a really big deal, not like this big announcement shit. It always ends up being stupid. Like if
it's not Mercedes or Okada tomorrow, it's a flop.
Yeah, it's always something stupid. Like it's always not stupid, but it's always like it's never what you think it is. And Mercedes Moné's debut needs to be like a fucking gigantic deal. Like you announce her, you start showing vignettes, you start promoting her, you send her out on publicity shit. Like that's what you should be doing. Not, I signed Mercedes Moné. Yay! She'll be here next week.
The hottest free agent.
You know what I mean? Like she needs to debut at Revolution. And then from there, you push the machine behind her, whatever machine AEW has, and get that shit going. So I could see where he announces, maybe he'll announce there's a fucking maybe it's going to be the Forbidden Door thing. Maybe it's not either one of those two. Just because of the way the shows have been going the past few weeks with this whole thing, maybe he's going to announce there's a pay-per-view, a joint pay-per-view with them. I don't know, but I would think it's more that or an Okada like announcement.
That's what it has to be one of them.
It's going to be one of those two because I don't see him announcing Mercedes like that. Like that needs to be a big fucking deal. Like she needs to be a surprise at Revolution. Like you need to do that for sure.
It's just it has to be something big though, because he's been like 0 for 10 on the last 10 huge announcements.
Yeah, that is true.
And the thing is, like, I don't like the huge announcement thing. Like, even when WWE does it, when it's like Triple H is going to address SmackDown, like, I'd rather just tune into Dynamite and the show starts and Tony Khan's in the ring. And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel when you announce your, I guess, corporate figure, whatever.
Announce your announcements.
Like, I don't think that draws viewership, in my opinion. Now, granted, I'm not involved in that. I'm not one of those people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't talk ratings, but I just don't think that. Like, I don't think an extra 100,000 people are going to tune in just because of Tony Khan's announcement.
Right.
And I'd say the same thing with, like, Triple H or anyone like that.
Yeah. Again, it always ends up being, like, some type of weird flop of an announcement because everybody starts. The problem is that he announces it so early, everybody starts speculating, and then at the end, it's like, oh, you know, here's this, and you're like, okay, dude, like.
It's our own fault because as wrestling fans, we're our own worst bookers.
That's true.
And we're going to get into that probably later. But
absolutely.
It is the truth, though. As wrestling fans, we get ourselves very, very overhyped over the littlest things, which to a degree is cool because it creates conversation. But
yeah.
Speaking of conversation, a man who's always somehow part of a conversation. Per Fightful, Ace Steel told them WWE wants CM Punk possibly in a commentary role while injured. We all know he did I don't know the name of the company, so I don't want to be rude, but he was doing the MMA fights and stuff. And I would hear on Twitter, and I don't know if it's just people because they love Punk, they're not going to talk bad, but I heard he's like not bad at it. But Lou and I were talking off air. Obviously, CM Punk's on Raw. So we both kind of agreed, and we'll speak our points. But I think him, Pat, and Cole would be a great team together. Even if it's not every week, like, you know what I mean? Like every other week he's on there, and you make it a big deal that CM Punk's on commentary because, you know, as we were just literally saying, everything's about viewership and ratings and all that shit. So if you just have him out there every week, I think it would get old kind of quick. And it doesn't give you that I miss you factor either at the same time.
Right.
You know? Because his injury, he's 4 months? I think it's 4 months.
Yeah, man, at least.
Yeah, so he'll be back definitely for SummerSlam. So I don't know. It'd be cool if he was, but if not, like, I'm fine with him just rehabbing and coming back. But you had a point off air, another option for him, which I like if you want to speak to that one.
Yeah, so again, CM Punk is great at commentary. We've all enjoyed him I enjoyed his time in WWE when he was doing commentary. The famous John Cena spilling his Pepsi. But I was thinking he could even go to NXT, dude. They could put him on NXT. He wouldn't have to travel that much. He could just be in the area. You know, I don't know where he's living right now. I'm assuming he lives in Chicago, but he could just be right there at that arena and just like you're basically clocking in and out of work. You go there, you do your job, you bounce. That way he doesn't have to travel everywhere. I don't know how much traveling you want to do with that arm, flying and all that shit. So I think that'd be dope. Him and Booker T on commentary, that'd be fucking fly as fuck. I'd watch that. I would definitely be watching NXT if he was doing commentary.
Yeah. 100%. That's going to bring in targets. So
I'm with it completely.
Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm never opposed to CM Punk being on my television. I'll let you take this next one. because you're the one who found it first off, and you're the one who mentioned it. So.
Ah, yes. So, in going from CM Punk to Chicago, man, there is someone who is going to be making their glorious return to Chicago at the Windy City Riots on April 12th. And that man is Jack Perry. So we were talking about Jack Perry, wondering, hey, where the fuck is this guy? He reappeared on this New Japan show, and then we hadn't heard anything from him. And now it appears he's going to be making an appearance at the Wintrust Arena. So it's a New Japan show. So I don't know who he's wrestling because it just says he'll be in action. So he might just be wrestling some jobber or something. I'm not sure what's going on, and they'll probably cut an angle afterwards. But hey, shout out to Jack Perry. My only question is he going to be using real glass or fake glass at this show?
Is he going to get the shit booed out of him in Chicago?
That's all I want to know.
He's definitely going to get booed heavily.
Oh, yeah, in Chicago.
In Chicago? Probably. Oh, God, yes. CM Punk's literally like the mayor there.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so good for him. What do we got next here?
We just threw in some notes here about Kamile. Kamile's been heavily rumored to be going to WWE. And according to PW Insider, it seems like she's no longer expected to go to WWE because the discussions kind of fell through. And she's now in deep discussions with AEW. And it seems like that's going to be a stronger destination for her to go. So we might be seeing Kamile Brickhouse in AEW. And she's literally the white Jade Cargill. I hate to say that, but that's literally what she is. She is fucking huge, bro.
That's a great signing for AEW if they get it.
Huge. Now, here's the thing. This dude's signing all these women, bro. And you're rotating like the same 4 women on TV every week.
And you keep them in the same segment. It's always the same.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's either Tony Storm, because she's the star of the fucking show. It's all about Tony Storm.
Oh, God.
You're not going to get an argument out of me. Anytime Tony Storm's on my TV is a good day. But you got Tony Storm, you got Mariah May, and then it's either Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Sky Blue, or now it's Queen Aminata. They got her all over TV, and Red Velvet. That's it. They just keep rotating the same women around. Yeah, it's like you're signing. Now with this Stardom thing that's happening, they're probably going to end up signing more women, and it's like, okay, dude, great, but like,
and then when Mercedes debuts, she's obviously taking the top.
Yeah,
spot.
And it's like one women's match a show is not going to cut it, bro. It's not. So you got to figure that shit out.
On Collision, it's usually the same thing. One match.
Yeah. They'll have like one women's match that goes like 6 minutes, and then they'll have a squash that's like a 2 or 3 minute match.
Yeah, he doesn't give the women a lot of time. Like, you really don't. And I'm not a booker, so I'm not going to crap on the guy. You know what I mean? It's probably a lot harder than what it seems to be.
Yep.
And it's weird. Yeah, he doesn't give them, even on the shows. The 2 women's matches are usually just for the title, and they go probably a combined like 20 minutes.
And the problem too is that like Kamile Brickhouse, championship title holder material. Mariah May, championship title holder material. Tony Storm, championship title holder material. Serena Deeb, championship material.
Britt
Baker, Mercedes Moné. Okay, you only got 2 belts. And now you're going to have all these women here who are stars. Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
The fucking virtuosa, Triple Crown champion. Okay? Like,
he's 100% going to do women's tag titles for sure.
So, and okay, great. But you still need to give more time to them on TV.
Yeah.
You can put more titles on, but if you're not going to have them be on TV, don't be throwing these fucking women to Ring of Honor. Because I enjoy Ring of Honor, but come on, bro. Like, they need to be on your main shows. Unless you're going to take Rampage and make that shit an all-woman show, or I don't know, bro. They got to figure something out with that shit. Because you can't keep signing all these women.
They pick up Rampage. Whoever, it's Warner Brothers. Like, now that they have Collision, and I wonder if they'll pick it up.
I would almost like for them to, like, I don't know, bro. I would take Rampage and put Rampage on Saturdays at like 7 o'clock. So from like 7 to 8, you get like a quick hour of wrestling on a Saturday night, and then put Collision on Fridays. Because like this whole Collision on Saturday is not working, bro. I know the rating for it, it's they like the rating. They got like 400,000 viewers this past Saturday, which is, it doesn't sound great because everybody's always like, oh, you didn't get 1 million. But it's like, bro, 400,000 people tuning in on a Saturday night to watch something in unison. Fucking company's gonna love that, because usually they're showing.
Did you see that midget wrestling beat Collision in the ratings?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
I saw it and I just laughed. I don't overreact to things like that.
I didn't even see that.
I think it was like a week or two ago. It wasn't like this, but it was just like, oh, that's kind of funny actually.
Wow. Okay.
Because someone's like, someone made a joke like not taking even a shot at AEW, just like there's a third big promotion in America now or something.
Wow, that's hilarious.
But no, I agree. I think the thing's good. I think Collision's really good. Like, it's a good show. It's just that time slot just sucks and that day sucks.
Yeah, and it's like every time WWE does a pay-per-view, you're fucked. Your rating is gonna go completely in the goddamn toilet.
One out of the 4 weeks of the month is fucked.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
I don't know, man. Again.
I wonder how hard it would be to put it on like Sunday. See, obviously, this is the shit we don't.
Then they shit on their own pay-per-views.
Or do the pay-per-views? Yeah, but do the pay-per-views. AEW was the one that really started the whole Saturday pay-per-view thing.
Yeah.
And then they went away from it. WWE copied them. Well, not, took that whatever from them. So it's like, you can do your pay-per-views and just don't do a Collision the week of a pay-per-view. I don't know. Obviously, we're saying all this shit like it's that easy, but
I know. And it's like, I don't know how you rectify that shit. Like, they're gonna get crushed by WrestleMania unless they just don't run a show. And honestly, they shouldn't be running a show. Like, you shouldn't be running a show during WrestleMania. Like, first of all, it's not smart. You're gonna get killed in the ratings.
Well, actually, no, they're doing Ring of Honor that weekend, right? Obviously, yeah, that Friday. So
they're gonna have Friday's fine. They can have a Friday pay-per-view as a school, because it's basically like.
Well, maybe they won't that week because they're doing the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure that Friday.
Okay. So again, I don't know. They might not be doing a Collision Saturday. They might just skip it. I would recommend that they do.
Especially if you're already doing a show, because I think AEW, Ring of Honor, whatever, still follows like what Ring of Honor used to do. Like wherever WrestleMania is in that vicinity is like the Ring of Honor show. Yeah. Because they did it last year. It was in LA, which I think is smart. But Lou, I got some questions for you.
One thing I wanted to throw in here is, did you see the news about Cash Wheeler?
Oh, like he's going to trial or something.
That motherfucker might do time. I don't think he is, but it's possible. It's out there.
Like Morgan's shit got dropped. I saw that.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's a fucking bullshit. That was a bullshit arrest anyway, bro. These people, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're arresting her for a fucking marijuana vape pen. Out of all the things you're arresting somebody for, bro, you arrested somebody for that? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Free Liv Morgan, bro.
I hope Cash is fine.
Free Liv Morgan, bro. How are you gonna see that woman and even think about putting handcuffs on her? Well, I can understand how you're gonna want to put handcuffs on her, but as a law enforcement officer, come on, bro. How are you gonna fucking arrest that woman for anything? That officer, 100%. Yeah, he 100% gets the fucking dummy. That was fucking ridiculous. But Cash, they're moving forward with the criminal charges that he had. Where is it here? I had a better article and I lost it. I hate when you go on Twitter and like something's there and then it refreshes and like it's gone forever.
Yeah, and it refreshes insanely quick.
Yeah, last July he had the aggravated road rage incident or whatever. So supposedly it's like a $5,000 fine, and you could do either 5 years probation or I think it said 5 years in jail. So I don't know, bro. This is just, it's not good.
I don't see that. I don't see him going to jail, though.
I mean, I don't see him going to jail over it, but he could definitely go on a probation thing. And I mean, for sure, they have to punish him somehow. You can't just let this guy get a slap on the wrist.
What did he exactly do again? I forgot, man. That seems like
I thought he pulled a gun or something on somebody on a road rage. That's why they were calling him not gun wheeler, or they were calling him something gun related with his name.
Glock wheeler.
Am I tripping, or is this? That was a quick state of play, bro. Holy shit. Sorry. I was wondering, like, I'm looking back at my TV because I had the Sony State of Play on, which I know you're not a big gamer, but they were showing the Final Fantasy, and I just had it playing because I just wanted something playing in the background before the game starts. And then I turn around and I'm seeing like Catwoman and Firestorm and Superman from the Injustice game universe. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is there a new Injustice game? That's why I kept turning around, like waiting for the Injustice 3. But I remember that I was actually watching. So for some of these video games, there's people on YouTube that they'll take all the cutscenes and they'll put them all together like a movie and they'll upload it to YouTube. So you could go type in like Injustice 2 cutscenes, and it's like it plays like the whole story plays out in cutscene format, and it's like a movie, and it's like 2.5 hours. And cool. I was watching it the other day, so I was like, I watched like 45 minutes of it because I was like, "Yo, this is actually fucking entertaining." And what happened is that the state of play ended, and that started replaying. So that's why it was on the screen. So for anyone who was curious, that's a little inside baseball for you guys. Not that you needed to know all that shit. So, but yeah, Cash Wheeler, bro. I don't know, buddy. Good luck to you, homie.
I hope so.
I don't know what else to say about that.
So, Lou, I think we're at that point.
We are there. We want Cody.
So, we have a bunch of notes here. So, I'm going to try to break this down, and you jump in whenever you want.
Absolutely.
Jump in wherever you want. So, as of this Saturday, 10 days ago, Cody wins the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes then points to Roman Reigns and says, I want you. It's all over WWE social media. So they didn't hide that Cody did this. Cody comes out on Raw. Seth hits him with a great promo, to be honest, about the workhorse title and all this nonsense.
That was not a great promo.
You didn't like Seth's original
At least not in my opinion. Bro, he was begging Cody to wrestle him.
Yes, okay, that aspect of it, yes. But I just like how he brought out some great points in it. But I'm Team Roman, go for Roman. So then he comes out on SmackDown, and Roman destroys anything Seth said on Monday.
Oh my God, he buried that fucking title. First of all, he said, how you gonna call yourself the guy when you're wearing your wife's clothes? That's that right there was a killer line.
I was texting one of my boys during it. I don't care how cool Roman and Seth are. There's no way Seth did not get butthurt watching that. He destroyed Seth. He destroyed that promo. Roman, it was like if Roman was just taking it personal for some reason.
Yeah, he literally took his entire promo apart, buried the title, buried him, made him look like shit. Basically told everybody that you're challenging, I already beat. So that's the run. Literally, he said that's the second place title or the runner-up title, whatever he said. And I was like, dude, this is not good. You shouldn't have your champion. Roman Reigns should be like, yo, one day I'm gonna come for that fucking belt too. Don't make me fucking do it now. I want that. He should be saying shit like that. So people could go, oh shit, Roman might want fucking take that belt too, and you put some energy behind it.
So I'm
not bury it.
He buried it. He did nothing for Seth or that title, but that was a great promo. I don't give a fuck. That was a great promo. He buried the shit out of that. So right as I'm watching this, I'm like, yo, there's no way Cody picks that. There's just no way. So Cody comes out. Then Dwayne comes out. And the way they just did Cody was so bad that it started a movement of #WeWantCody. You know, everyone's a booker online for this. And this is, and I'm not shitting on the guy, because last week we literally said, like, yo, I would never want to be an insider, dirt sheet guy, whatever.
Right.
Man, Meltzer has said every possible angle is coming from this. And maybe, I don't know why, but he said this is 100% of work. He said they knew as of January 3rd that The Rock was facing, which, in my opinion, I think the easiest route with all this is if it was really, I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no fucking clue where they're going with this.
Right.
And if that's their job, because they want everyone to watch this press conference on Thursday, this press event, they did their job, in my opinion.
Now I'm watching.
But if you were going straight up Rock and Roman, as much as we would have bitched about it, why have Cody win the Rumble and not just have The Rock win? Because it was the second CM Punk's 2 feet touched the ground as a guy. It's Cody and Roman.
Who was 30 again?
Who was 30?
For the men, because Liv Morgan came out for the women at 30. Who the fuck came out at 30 again for the men?
It wasn't anyone like big. It wasn't Gunther, was it? No. Gunther was already in the match.
Yeah, who the fuck came out at 30, bro?
What was it? Drew? No.
I don't remember. That goes to
Sami Zayn.
Oh, right. So Sami Zayn. Bro, really? Did you really need Sami Zayn coming out at 30 to get thrown the fuck out anyway?
And I'm the first to say it. We 100% would have came on the show that Tuesday and would have bitched that The Rock won. We 100% would have. But
at least it would have made sense.
It would have made sense. And now this whole weekend, that became the most disliked video in WWE history on YouTube. We Want Cody went everywhere. Mainstream media picked it up. They asked George Kittle at the Super Bowl media event, what do you think are you doing?
Yeah, it's The Rock's boy. Like, he's not going to go against The Rock. And he kind of makes sense, bro. It's box office.
Yeah, and what?
Like, I get it, bro.
Well, I liked his suggestion of having The Rock ref.
Yeah.
I have a few, so I just want, before I give what I would like, if I had the pen, just your whole thoughts from Friday to as we speak from now on everything.
My thing is this. So Meltzer supposedly he reported that so here's a couple things that I found out when I was going through like Twitter and all these different things. So did you know that The Rock has all these things in his contract? Like for his movies that like he can't lose a fight in any movie. He has a limit on how many punches he can take or how many kicks he can take like on film. Like he has all that shit in his contract in his movie contract.
Yeah, like as nice as the guy The Rock is, he has a fucking ego. Like everyone knows.
It's all about how he's portrayed.
Yes, he cares about his image.
In any movie that he's in, he won't be losing any fights. Mm-hmm. He will only take maybe like 1 or 2 punches, and then he gets all the other offense. He now owns the name The Rock. So I say that because apparently in the TKO, when he became part of TKO, one of the things that he got was $30 million in stock. So they gave him $30 million of stock of TKO. He's on the board. And one of those things that was a requirement was that he gets his name, The Rock. It's completely his now. He owns it outright. He owns the music, the name, everything. So he could end up in AEW, but I digress. I digress.
That's great.
One of the other things that he apparently had in his contract was that he will wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Like that's part of the shit that he got when he signed to TKO. So my thing is, Triple H knew about this weeks ago when he signed. So why the fuck would you have Cody win the Royal Rumble when you know that this guy has that shit in his contract and he's going to be like wrestling Roman at WrestleMania? Like, why the fuck wouldn't you call an audible, have The Rock at 30, come run out to the ring, stop before he gets in the ring, take a breather, then get in the ring, do his punches and his kicks and all that shit, drop somebody with the fucking backdrop, people's elbow, throw you out, throw everybody the fuck out, I win. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
CM Punk.
Well, CM Punk, again, he got hurt, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that's, that is what it is. But, like, why the fuck wouldn't you, like, you knew this already. So, like, why are you causing, I'm convinced this is some type of work.
Yeah.
I'm convinced this shit's a setup. We're being set up.
I'm telling you, when Thursday ends, I won't, if Cody's in the match, is it because that was the plan all along? Or was it because the outrage of the fans? But if it's also just flat out Rock and Roman, I won't be, because I've seen so many. So the one I like personally that I like, my boy and I were talking, we've seen it online, so we did not probably create this. And I don't care about Roman in this predicament because he never wrestles. I just think you have this press conference in Rock and Roman. I don't know how they would book it, but this is just me, instant reaction. Rock and Roman is a match. And then Cody comes out during this and says, well, I got the winner on Sunday. So you have Rock and Roman night 1, Cody Roman night 2. It's a win-win. Because if you do that, I think that's the best, whether it's him doing that or special referee. The reason being is because you get the Rock and Roman on Saturday, which, if we're being honest, that's a big deal on Saturday night. Like, yeah, okay, Rock, you're not closing WrestleMania, but it's still the big Saturday show.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's, because if you did that to me, because we all know going into this, Roman wasn't losing to The Rock. So you can still be hyped because you get this Rock-Roman match, and now you get Roman-Cody. Like, I like that. But then people also said, Justin LaBar, who's on Busted Open, said it could be Cody and Roman, and Rock and Roman announced that Vegas is, or Rock announces that WrestleMania, because the press conference is in Vegas. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
So they announced what Mania's in Vegas next year. And I will see you in Allegiant Stadium next year and do the whole Cena build where they do a year. I don't know, man. I just think if they really go, and The Rock's my favorite of all time. If they go Rock and Roman, will I be excited? Yes, because I literally just said The Rock's my favorite of all time. But they're going to get a shit ton of backlash. And I'm wearing the shirt for a reason today, but I want Cody and Roman because as much as I love The Rock, like, I don't want another year of Roman's reign. Cody's so white hot right now, and he's your guy. Like, he's Saturday night, the day after SmackDown, he signed a table and gave it to a blind wrestling fan who was there to see him. Yeah. Like, how do you, I don't know. Like, I think this makes more sense adding him than it, and I was a huge fan of it then, but then Daniel Bryan. Because Daniel Bryan wasn't being portrayed as the guy where Cody is.
He was just the underdog.
What do you think happens Thursday? Like, where's your mind in all this?
So, and we were just talking about last week how fucking nice it's going to be to see Cody with that big fucking belt going to, like, Good Day America and Good Morning America or whatever and doing all these shows and promotion and I'm the champion. This is, like, that shit was going to be fucking super dope. And now we have all this confusion. So did you see, so last night, they started the show with people chanting Rocky sucks. We want Cody. Did you see there were signs in the crowd that said we want Cody, like hashtag we want Cody? So apparently people online were like zooming in on the pictures of those signs and they were like all exactly the same. Like they're the same font, the same size. So it seems like they were being handed out by WWE, like to the crowd for them to hold up. Like, it seems like the signs were there. Like, I don't know if there was people from the show who could like verify that shit or not, or if they did already. I don't know.
So that's enough. So to add to that, though, they were apparently that was a plant. It wasn't a plant.
But even Michael Cole was like referencing it. They were like, "Oh, the We Want Cody chant is #1 trend on," and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, is this shit? Is this like their plan, or like what is happening?" And
him and Pat, I was texting my boy. They were plugging that press event more than they were plugging their upcoming pay-per-view. Like, they had a disgusting rate last night.
Like, your idea makes sense for them to go The Rock WrestleMania 41. In Allegiant, or whatever the fucking stadium that is over there in Vegas. I'll see you there, Roman Reigns. That makes sense. except for the fact that Cody said,
Yeah.
I will see you, but not at WrestleMania. Like, if he hadn't have said that, then, you know, we could kind of have that idea in our head that, like, oh, that's probably going to happen there. Or maybe The Rock is going to be the special guest referee, which I would be fine with too. Or not even a special referee, like, let's say, enforcer. Or don't even announce him to do anything. Just have your fucking match. And when Solo eventually comes out to interfere, The Rock can come out, whoop his ass, whoop Jay's ass, or not Jay, Jimmy, whoop Jimmy's ass, whoop Solo's ass, throw them out of the ring, and then go to Cody, go finish the fucking story, and then boom, boom, crossroads, 1, 2, 3. Like, the building would explode. You know what I mean?
And it's weird because The Rock talks about how much he loves this business and how he wants to give back and all this shit. And it's like, you say all this, so you should know what the obvious thing to do is.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a guy like that shirt The Rock wore when I bought it. I already bought it because I thought it was a dope shirt. But
and it's funny, like, all these people are like burying The Rock now and shit. Like, you know, they're saying he's greedy and he's an egotist and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's burying him and all that shit. And we don't even know what's going on. Like, we don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know what's going to happen Thursday. I don't know if this shit's a work. I don't know if those signs were planted. Yeah. Supposedly a fan said that they brought like 200 signs or something and was passing them out. How the fuck did you get 200 signs into that building like that?
If so, that's honestly fucking wild. Like, that's kind of weird in a fucked up way.
Yeah. Like, how the fuck would you do that? So I kind of buy into the fact that it was planted, just because the way that, like, Michael Cole and freaking Pat were just like nonstop with the "we want Cody" shit, like referencing it, bringing it up again, making fun of The Rock, like, oh, what is this, 2006 with the Rocky sucks chants? Like, I was like, bro, what the fuck's going on? Like,
I don't know how much mainstream attention this has caught.
Yeah. And they probably love it because you know what they're not talking about now? Vince McMahon. So they probably fucking love it.
Which, if that's the case, if they're really doing this because of Vince, like, yo, the second some more information comes out about this case, that's gonna pick up news. Like, they make it seem like, oh, well, we don't care anymore because Rock and Roman's act. Like, no, if that gets released, that's gonna pick up Wall Street.
Yeah, but dude, you somebody posted a picture yesterday or the day before of like the trends, and like justice for I don't even fucking know her name now. Yeah, it was like the justice hashtag was like way down there with like 2,000 tweets, and we want Cody was at like 1.4K, like 1,000 tweets. Like, it was up at the top, and her shit was all Janelle, right? Justice for Janelle. So again, it fucking worked. Now, whether or not it's on purpose for that reason, or if I don't know what's going on, bro. I really don't.
The honestly, one thing I'm going to say in all this, and this might just be me because I am the positive guy. For years, almost, I'm not going to say everyone, right? Because almost everyone's wanted Rock and Roman. Like, at some point, people said, yo, I want that match. If that is the direction they go, where it's literally Rock and Roman and Seth and Cody, I'm not going to be that guy. Like, if they go with it, whatever, man. Does it suck? Yeah, because I'd rather see Cody and Roman. There's no way I'm not going to be glued to my TV every time the Rock and Roman are on TV, and I'm not going to be not excited.
Oh, man. It just fucking, bro, if The Rock is the one to beat Roman Reigns for that belt,
that's the one thing I don't want.
Going to be the biggest deflating fucking thing ever. Because, bro, the story writes itself. Cody beats Roman Reigns for the belt. He celebrates, whatever. And maybe at WrestleMania, Cody walks out with the belt. Roman's sitting there in the ring, holding his fucking head in his hands. The wise man's there crying. Solo and Jimmy are there, whatever. And then The Rock comes out with the elders. Like, he should come out with Alpha and Sika standing at the fucking ramp. And The Rock comes out. And he tells them that you failed, you're not head of the table anymore, you failed, you've lost your whatever. I'm now here to take away your head of the table. Bam! There's your fucking match. You don't need the belt, you don't need any of that bullshit. You got Roman Reigns versus The Rock. You got your marquee match, and you have a reason for them to be wrestling.
Yep. Like I said, if they do it this year, I think the best option is, and this is where I say I don't feel bad. Roman can work 2 nights in a row and be perfectly fine.
Do you think it's this fucking Hogan thing? Like, do you really think they really want him breaking this Hogan? The Hogan record doesn't matter. It's a made-up record.
I don't think so.
That's a made-up ass record.
I'm bought in to a degree that they are doing this TKO, because what people are saying, and it's true, this isn't Triple H. Because Nick Khan is higher trumped than Triple H.
Yeah.
And then so is TKO, which Ari Emanuel was The Rock's agent back in the day. So it's like, I think this is more of a TKO thing than a Triple H thing, in my opinion. Like, that's just me. I'm not trying to praise Triple H by any means. I'm not saying he doesn't agree with it. But I don't think Triple H was the one who sat down and said, yes, we're going to do this route. But
it's so crazy, bro.
I don't know, man. If you do it, it makes so much more sense. Like, obviously, I don't know The Rock's schedule because he acts. But I don't know, man. I think being a board member, what takes priority? Being a board member or being like an actor? Like, and I don't know.
It's just very weird
and I'm trying to ship, like, Philadelphia, beautiful place, but it's like, yo, you're advertising. And now, granted, we have no clue where WrestleMania is, mind you. This is just me and what people. But if you advertise The Rock versus Roman Reigns in Las Vegas, that's a big draw.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a massive.
That's selling out immediately.
And it's the week of the Super Bowl. You would announce it in the town where the Super Bowl currently is, and a big event. And we don't speak his name, but the old man was very known for wanting to go to stadiums after they've had a Super Bowl because he knows he'll break their record, obviously, because they have fans on the floor. He did it. They did it with SoFi. They did it with MetLife. So it makes sense it would make sense because now the Super Bowl's here. That's going to be the record, obviously, for most fans. And then WrestleMania comes next year and beats it.
So it's just, again, we won't
I hope they go that route. I don't know, man, but I'll admit, I am very fucking in tune for this fucking, and I don't watch those press events that they do.
And that's the only thing. Again, the wording with Cody, the fact that he said, "I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania," is what gets me. Because if he wouldn't have said that, I would right now be 100% convinced that they're doing Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 41 a year from now, and Cody and Roman are gonna have their match here. You know, whatever.
So now, quick reaction: if Cody's inserted, say it's either a triple threat or it's Cody versus Roman, whether it's night 2 and The Rock's night 1, or The Rock's referee, like, how do you spin this? Would Cody just be like, oh, this was just a mind game to think you were facing him and I made that known? Like, what is Cody? Cody's good on the mic, so he'll portray it good, but what does he say?
I don't know, bro. I don't know how you clean that shit up because, and even his face when he shook The Rock's hand, the way he walked out of the ring, I was uncomfortable, bro. I was like, oh my God, this guy does not look like he's happy about this shit, like at all.
I'll admit.
Did you see the Ace Steel video? The new animation that you didn't seen it?
Oh, yeah.
The new one? It's like 4 minutes long or whatever with the had a bad day fucking dude. I don't know that guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know how he does that shit, but that dude, he should be making.
He doesn't.
I hope he's making money off of that shit because that shit's hilarious.
But dude, go until Friday. There was only because you know how you hear wrestlers talk all the time in the ring. There are now 2 conversations I would love to have heard. What The Rock just said to Cody in that embrace.
Yeah.
And the number one for me all time will always be, and maybe because it's still fresh, but what The Undertaker said to Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, Raw 30 when they were in the ring.
Did he ever reveal that?
No. Undertaker said that's something between Bray and I, and Bray said the same thing. Mm-hmm. And now, especially with his passing,
oh yeah, for sure,
that's never coming out. So.
I'd kind of like to be a fly in the wall at Brawl Out.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's up there too.
I'd like to be a fucking fly in the wall for that shit, and for Brawl In, when they had the All In Jack Perry CM Punk shit. I'd love to know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, like you said in text, this is all Jack Perry's fault.
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing that I did want to bring up. Dude, none of this shit would be happening if it wasn't for Jack Perry, bro.
Humble boy Jack Perry.
Literally, like none of this would. Can you like
Think
put that in perspective? None of this shit right now would be happening if not for Jack Perry. If Jack Perry would not have tapped on that glass and said "Real Glass, Cry Me a River," CM Punk never would have got into a fight with him. Never would have got released and fired. He'd still be in AEW, probably be champion at this point.
Yeah,
he never would have came back, and he wouldn't have got hurt at the Rumble. Yo, it's so crazy, bro.
What he would have finished
events, bro. It's literally the butterfly effect.
So now, one thing I want to ask before we move on to our little quiz too. So say they somehow go Cody Roman. Just that happens. Whether it's the night 1, night 2 thing, just it happens. What do you do with Seth?
Seth needs to lose. He's hurt, bro.
So do you do Seth versus Drew, or do you do because
Drew McIntyre? Fuck yes.
You see the Sammy promo though, with adding Sammy for a triple threat.
No, bro. Drew McIntyre. I'm gonna stand on this shit until whatever happens. But Drew McIntyre needs to be the one to take that fucking belt off of Seth Rollins.
Bro, he's on a roll. He's like one of the most.
Then you can do Sammy and Drew. Then you can do Drew and whoever. You have choices, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got plenty of people. You could do Jay and Drew again. They can re-spark that shit up, even though Jay is probably beefing with Gunther right now. But still, there's things you can do with that. It has to be Drew, bro. It has to be Drew.
Drew's on a roll.
All the shit that's happened to him this past year, all the times he's tried to get a championship, all the fucking big matches he's had that he's lost trying to be a good guy. Now he's finally heel. It's got to be him, bro.
That's honestly, people are saying Cody Roman for. I want Cody Roman because then Drew's probably going to win a title at me. That's why. It's not that.
Honestly, he deserves that shit for being the pandemic champion.
It might not main event, right? Because if they do the 2 nights of Roman with Rock and Cody, whatever. I don't think Drew cares that bad.
I don't think they should do that, bro. I don't think they should do that shit.
I think that's
too much, bro. You're gonna have to just start calling it Roman Mania or fucking Wrestle Reigns.
Oh, but
they changed the fucking name of the building, bro.
Trust me, my number one option is Rock and Roman announced for next year. But if The Rock is that adamant on this year, I think that's your safest route possible.
That's the thing too. Like even if they announce Thursday, I'll see you at WrestleMania 41, bro. That's like 14, 15 months from now. They're gonna carry that fucking feud for 15 fucking months.
When
would
the
next WrestleMania?
When would The Rock would probably still show up at Mania to help Cody win, right?
Right.
You said so. He shows up at Mania, and then because after Mania, if Cody were to beat Roman
would have to take a long break,
easily till SummerSlam, easily till August.
Yeah.
So neither of them till August, and then. That's why, where they did it with Cena. They've done this with Cena and Rock, so it can be done.
I don't know, bro. That's a long ass time.
Isn't it nuts that in 2024, I'll use the word bitching, but I don't know if it's the right word, about like The Rock wrestling? Like, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like.
My thing with The Rock, too, is that, like, I typed this up on Twitter the other day, but I deleted it because I was like, I felt bad, but. So technically The Rock's last match was a 6-second match against Eric Rowan, which that was bullshit. But before that, if you all remember, his last match was against John Cena 11 fucking years ago. And after that match, he tore, I still have it here, he tore his pectoral, whatever. And the motherfucker had to have lumbar unexpected lumbar surgery on his back because of that match. Like
it delayed him doing Painting Game, like promoting.
That was 11 fucking years ago.
I think one thing we forget, because here's where I play devil's advocate, right? Because you still have a bunch of old motherfuckers wrestling. But to play caveat, The Rock's not in ring shape. The Rock is easily in amazing shape. You physically can see that. The dude's jacked out of his mind. But I don't know. I don't know The Rock's schedule. Is he even doing movies right now? Like,
I think he's busy right now with all his other shit.
With the UFL, the football thing?
Yeah, football thing and being a CEO now and shit.
I honestly think his acting days are coming to an end.
I mean, he's pretty much done everything he can do as an actor besides like starring some type of dramatic, like.
Yeah, like, and the only rumored things I've heard of him in movies, it's obviously Fast and Furious because he was in, and then I heard they might do a live action Moana movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's working on that. Yeah, he is working on that.
So it's like, that's the other thing. Like, people are like, oh, The Rock doesn't have time. He's an actor. You have to do it now. It's like, dude, the dude's not advertised. His last movie was what, Black Adam? The end of 2022?
I believe so, yeah.
And I liked the movie, but I'm not into superhero shit like that to know. But apparently that was a flop, like even financially.
Yeah, it flopped, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool.
But financially, it was a flop. Is that like true?
It didn't make what it barely broke even, I think, and that's not good. Like movies like that are supposed to make
superhero movies always crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. And this is a dude who apparently cares about his image. Like, dude, just you have nothing on the books right now, apparently. Say you're doing WrestleMania 41. Do the long build. Like, promote that shit on Netflix when Netflix starts in January of next year. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a layup. Like, but we don't know shit at the end of the day. And that's what Thursday's for. And it's wild that we don't know shit. But I already said, if it is flat out just Rock and Roman, I'm not going to cave into all these other people. Like, yo, I'm going to enjoy the build and watch the match. I'm not expecting no 5-star match, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's Rock and freaking Roman.
I gotta, unfortunately, it's Tuesday. We still got freaking 2 more days to figure out this damn fucking press conference. But, man, I don't know what they're going to do. And it's kind of exciting that we don't know what they're going to do. But I'll tell you one thing. This is probably going to be the highest rated goddamn press conference that's ever existed. Because everybody and their mother is going to watch this shit.
Yep. My boy just texted me, who's like a casual. He said, do you also hate The Rock?
That shit is crazy, bro. It's so confusing right now. Because I don't even know what to... People ask me, luckily I haven't been asked about this shit. But it's like, what do you even say? I don't know what's going on.
But do you like not knowing what's going on?
Yeah, of course. I love it. I hate knowing what's going to happen. I hate that predictable shit. I love being surprised. I love surprises. That's why I love the Royal Rumble. That's why it's my favorite pay-per-view, because I like to know, yeah, you got a couple people is going to be in it, but I love those surprises.
And you know what else I'm kind of curious on? A weird thing. Pat kept plugging that it's free to go.
Oh, shit.
I already said if I didn't have a busy Friday, because Vegas is only 3 hours away.
Oh, wow.
And if it wasn't a zillion, because Vegas, I don't know if you know, is usually historically cheap. But obviously with the Super Bowl, it's going to be outrageous.
Yeah.
Like because I could easily go in the morning. But I think it's going to be dope. I'm definitely getting hyped for it. But I don't know. I love when wrestling's not predictable. Knowing, and here's the thing. Meltzer, all these fans, or whatever it is, they're gonna be like, yeah, I knew this. I knew, like, motherfucker, y'all didn't know shit. So I don't know, but yeah, because what are your thoughts on? I know we briefly texted about it. I think you said it was corny, but if they go that MSG route, where Cody beats Roman at like Survivor Series, if they have it at MSG, because Starrcade is in November, like Survivor Series, and
yeah, the reason I think I said, I don't know if I said it was corny. I mean, I guess I might have, but that's probably the wrong word. To me, it's not even the word. It's just that I don't think WWE gives a fuck enough about like that kind of lineage shit to actually do that. Like, I don't think they give a fuck that Dusty, oh, you know what, Cody, we're gonna do? We're gonna have you win it at MSG, brother, because that's where your father had the title that one night for 5 minutes before they ripped it out of his hands. And we're gonna really, you think Triple H is doing that shit with Cody? He's not doing that shit. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't give a shit about that.
Roman's reign, no pun intended, has to end at WrestleMania. That's too big of a reign to not that MSG is the most historical venue ever. Don't get me wrong, but like WrestleMania is WrestleMania.
It's at WrestleMania, bro. It's you Cody's whole thing is finish the story. You're just promoting a video game that has a fucking finish the story mode with all these different characters. Like, you finish the fucking story. I don't give a shit that Paul Heyman said, "Oh, we're in the bottom of the third inning." Get the fuck out of here. No way. No, I don't care about Hogan's fake record. I don't give a shit about that.
And you know what
all I give a shit about is Cody beating Roman Reigns for that fucking title. That's it. That's all that matters.
The worst part is that up until WrestleMania last year, even when Roman went part-time, it was a good title reign. He had good matches and all that, but from WrestleMania 39 to WrestleMania 40 was pointless. Like, it was cool because the next pay-per-view, him and Solo lost to Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Then the only cool thing I think that's really happened in the past year, like, I did think it was cool LA Knight got a title shot. Like, that's cool like that. But the only cool thing and unsurprised was when Jay pinned him and Money in the Bank. And that was, but their tribal combat match that wasn't supposed to have interference had interference. And
right.
So, like, I don't know. But Thursday, we'll see. We'll see. And it comes on at 7 Eastern.
That's the big day, man. That's the big day.
7 p.m. Eastern time Thursday.
You know what? I might even live stream that just to see what happens.
I'm down.
So whether it's a good reaction or a shit reaction, we'll sit there and we'll live stream that shit and see what the hell happens. I think that's a good idea. Some more content to throw on this page.
Yeah. You want to hop into our quiz?
So, good friend Dangerous Dan, of our wrestle, he's officially unofficial trash boy, sent us yet another quiz. So we haven't seen it. I was able to download it, upload it into this thing here with the slides, and I haven't opened it yet. So I'm going to be opening it for the first time. It's probably going to take over the whole screen. So let's see. And oh no, look at that. Look at that. We got pushed to the side. Awesome. All right. Let me go full screen on this. Ooh, yeah. All right. So this is a guess the pay-per-view. Is that what it is?
Yeah, guess the pay-per-view logo.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be terrible at this because I really don't pay attention to shit like this, but let's go to slide number 2.
See, he has the answer, so this is weird.
The answers are there. So how are we supposed to do this if the answers are sitting right there?
I'm going to tell him the answer is on the same slide.
It's literally on the slide. So when you slide over, it's there. I don't know how would
we hit next. Great Balls of Fire came up.
Because the only way to do it would be for me to open it and show, like, even then, I wouldn't be able to show you.
Douglas, the show.
Yes, this is, let's see. Well, so Great Balls of Fire.
Which was actually a great show in the end. As dumb as the name it is.
Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman defeated Samoa Joe by pinfall. This is one of the travesties of WWE that they never put a title on that man. Every time I watch Dynamite,
you only clicked it once, right?
Yeah, I only did the first slide.
I'm gonna send him a photo quick. You were saying though, watching Dynamite.
Whenever I watch Dynamite now, and I see Joe walk out with that fucking expensive ass suit on with that belt around his shoulder, all I want to do is stand up and applaud. That's all I want to do. Just stand up and clap for that. That is a champion right there. That's my champion right there, bro.
I went down a rabbit hole of wrestling videos the other day, and it was the video when Roman, Lesnar, and Joe were in the ring together, and Joe just destroys him on the mic.
Oh, he obliterated him. And then Roman was sitting there going,
hey, you look at me when I'm talking to you.
Yeah. And Roman was sitting there going, really? Really? Trying to, like, there's no fucking way he was gonna hang with Joe on the mic. So I'm glad that he shut him down.
Are you opened it? And did you open it in PowerPoint by any chance?
So I downloaded it and then I put it on this thing because right here it shows like so it says the camera's here and then there's just a present. There's a present button and it says slides, extra camera, or video file, or I could share my screen. So I put it into the slides thinking it was just a PowerPoint and it works, but unfortunately the answers are sitting there.
Well, we can still go through and talk about those shows then.
Yeah, we could do that because these poor people are sitting here with our technical difficulties. But yeah, this is one of those things where Samoa Joe should have beaten Brock Lesnar, but I think Vince was not having that shit.
Hey, that's when Lesnar was literally unstoppable.
Yep.
Capital Carnage.
I wouldn't have guessed any of these. None of them.
I don't know, but what was the main event? So he put the main event for each. So Stone Cold defeated Kane, Undertaker, and Mankind.
1998. I really have no recollection of this whatsoever. At this time, I was like full board WCW. I was like full into WCW, bro. I was barely watching WWE at this time.
I honestly don't remember this, and I feel this would be a match you would remember. The match must have sucked.
I mean, look at the names there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Stone Cold, Kane, Mankind, and The Undertaker in a freaking four-way match. That sounds... That's crazy, and I don't remember that shit at all.
I might have to go watch that one.
I'm going to have to look this shit up.
Yeah. Okay, Invasion. I remember the Invasion. So, were you a fan of the whole Invasion angle? People either loved it or hated it.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it. It just, my problem with the Invasion angle was that it wasn't really, so they didn't have Sting. They didn't have the Steiner brothers. They didn't have
NWO.
Like, they didn't have the big people from WCW. Like, they had like Sean Stasiak and fucking
Wasn't it because they were under
they were the ones under contract. Yeah. All those other people got released from their contract. So they were like, "No, we're not doing this shit." And they had all these like jobber ass people representing the WCW side.
Literally besides Booker T and DDP.
Yeah, and then on over here you had Stone Cold, The Rock, like you had The Undertaker, and then you had all these jobbers. So it was like it wasn't really working.
Because I remember the feud ended in the loser leaves, whatever, winner take all. And Team WCW was literally Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, Booker T, RVD, and Shane McMahon. Yeah, because they defected to WCW because they had no stars. So they had to give them some of their own stars to make this feud like worth watching. Yeah. It's so stupid, bro. And even when they injected like the ECW guys, like the ECW guys were so much smaller than everyone else that it was like. Imagine how dope this angle could have been if they had Hogan, Nash, all of them. Oh, yeah. Like the actual NWO. If they had like Scott Norton and fucking, you know, like these people from like the actual NWO, it would have been the shit. Kurt Hennig. I wonder if they would have pulled the trigger on Sting Undertaker right then and there, even though because at this time Taker was the badass. He wasn't like. Yeah. And then here, I think Sting didn't want to join because at this time, you know, they were like heavy with the TNA and the mud wrestling and all that fucking, you know, non-PG shit. And Sting didn't want to like be involved in that shit. Yeah. Judgment Day. Triple H defeats Randy Orton. That was probably like the 20th time they wrestled each other on paper. I feel bad that he went through all this to kind of like stump us because either way, I wasn't gonna guess. I would have got Judgment Day because that one I definitely would have got. I wouldn't have gotten a single one of these. But again, this here I don't recall. This was one of the times where I was on break. I think this was probably a forgetful pay-per-view, to be honest. Yeah, I was on break at that time. I think TLC. Yep, I remember that. Ziggler beat. I wouldn't have gotten this. That would have been hard. I see why he did the cutout because you can maybe see chairs. Yeah. in the ladder right there, but Dolph Ziggler defeated Cena. So this was part of the build. Oh, no, it wasn't. This is when The Rock was getting ready to beat Punk for the title. Think about that. Imagine if The Rock wins, he ends Punk's long-ass reign and Roman's.
This is fucking ridiculous, bro. Great American Bash. The Undertaker defeated the Dudley Boys.
Do you remember this? It was in like a cement thing.
No.
Bro, if you watch, so Paul Heyman's in like a box, and like he gets like asphalt put on him, and that gets him buried alive in it. Yeah, because so do you remember when WWE a couple years ago released the whole ruthless aggression thing?
Yeah.
And there was an episode on innovations. They mostly focus on bringing in the Elimination Chamber, where they talk about how some things that were dumb, which was one of these. This is when Paul Heyman was in charge of SmackDown.
No shit. No recollection of that. Armageddon.
I was at this pay-per-view. I wonder if that's why he put this one.
Oh, this is the one with the famous picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That was a good show. That's when Chris Benoit, I remember the show, Benoit and Booker T were in like a best of 7 for the U.S. title.
No shit.
They had Big Show and King because they were tag champs against Batista and Mysterio. Was it either Super Crazy or what was their name? Super Crazy and Psychosis. What was their name?
Oh, they were the Mexicools.
Yeah, I think one of them had a match.
Motherfuckers were riding out on lawnmowers.
John Deere. They were coming out on John Deere lawnmowers.
It's the most racist shit ever, bro.
That was wild. Looking back at it, that's wild as fuck.
And again, Super Crazy, one of the most fucking insanely talented luchadors you will ever fucking see, and they had him in a fucking Mexican lawnmower gimmick in WWE. Fucking Vince, man. Fuck Vince. Fuck that guy. Over the limits. John Cena defeats The Miz with Alex Riley. Alex Riley's one of those dudes that I really liked. Like,
yeah,
I really liked Alex Riley, and I really hoped that he was gonna get like a push because his presentation was, his music was fucking awesome. He had a great look.
I don't remember the song, but I remember it being great.
Yeah, his theme was hard, and like, you know, he had a great look. He looked like he could be a champion. Like he had that kind of like appearance, like that air about him and shit. And he just never fucking. Supposedly, I guess Cena didn't like him or something and kind of buried him. I don't know. You know, that's just the stuff I've heard over the years. But yeah, man, this dude should have been way bigger than he was, man. Way bigger.
John Ross Sapp just tweeted, I guess Brittany Pillman. I don't know if that's Brian Pillman's wife. Oh, the daughter. Sorry. That Pillman estate has reached a Legends deal with WWE, and new Brian Pillman merchandise is coming.
Okay.
I don't know. That just got broken, I guess.
That's interesting because he wants nothing to do with his dad's name, so.
And now his dad's getting new merch.
And his dad's getting merch, so that's. All right, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good for him and his family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're getting something. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. That's always a good thing.
What do we got next? Road Wild. That's the one he was talking about.
This was great. I remember this. Diamond Dallas Page and
Jay Leno.
Fucking Jay Leno. This is where what's the name was involved with this too. Isn't this where Karl Malone also showed up with his Diamond Dallas Page shirt?
He might have, yeah, because isn't that when he was feuding with Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, well, Rodman showed up after that, but I remembered this being I thought Kevin Karl Malone was involved in this at some point, but I could be wrong. Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's like I was happy because it was like, wow, this is cool, bro. They got Jay Leno, like,
and that's when Jay Leno was massive.
They're competing with WWE, so it's like, bro, they got Jay Leno. These guys are going on the Jay Leno show to like complete the fucking, you know. I remember Hogan going on Jay Leno in complete NWO fucking outfit, headband, glasses, the black beard, sitting on Jay Leno's couch like with his foot up, like trying to be like completely in character, bro. And I was like, this is kind of cool, but it's also like a little fucking weird that you're like pretending like you're actually this guy.
So, what theme did you like better, the NWO theme or the Wolfpack one?
I kind of like that Wolfpack thing. That shit slaps. That shit's hard.
Back on the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that shit is hard. I like it a lot. The Disciple. The Disciple always made me laugh because you know who the Disciple is, right?
I don't remember, to be honest. I'd be lying.
So the Disciple was Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yes. Okay. Take that back. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
Now that
And I didn't find that out until like much later because he just brought this guy in and he's like, this is the Disciple. And it's some big ripped tan dude with the hair and the glasses that you couldn't really see his face. And then like the internet wasn't like popping like it is now back then, but you could still go like to message boards and shit like that. So I used to go on message boards and read about wrestling or whatever. And that's where I found out. I was like, are you fucking serious? That's Bruce the Barber Beefcake, bro. Really? Never spoke, never cut a promo, never did any of that shit in WCW. He was just always there. He was he was just there.
Collecting a bag.
So funny, bro. So like, oh god.
Fucking Perry Saturn.
God damn it. Perry Saturn. Okay, this is getting ridiculous, bro. Every week.
4 weeks in a row.
This dude's name is gonna pop up on every fucking episode of this fucking show. This is just gonna be I'm telling you, it's gonna become the Perry Saturn podcast. I gotta find him. I gotta find that dude and get him on the show. I wonder if he has a Twitter.
On Instagram.
Right now. He should have Twitter. Perry. CJ Perry. No. Perry Saturn. So the first thing I see is Perry Saturn fucks. Okay, and Perry Saturn 1. Okay, so this one says this is the real Perry Saturn. He's got 30,000 followers, so I'm assuming this is him. His last tweet was in 2019, so probably not the best way to get in touch with him.
So he's probably not a social media guy.
Oh, yeah, he's Chance. Okay, he's.
Oh, wow, he looks hella different. This is
yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw a recent picture of him. It's not. That's not even the one that I saw. That actually looks better than what I saw. I saw a picture of him, and I shouldn't be talking about him like this if we're going to try to get him on the show. He's going to go back and watch these shows and be like, these motherfuckers.
I don't think we'll ever have Perry Saturn on the show.
Hey, man, never say never. We'll see what happens.
I don't think he has
I'm going to find this guy. I'm going to find him on what he's I'm going to find something he's active on and see if he'll if he says yes, I'm going to tell you right now.
I have a closing question for you.
Yes, sir.
You could have any wrestler on this show. Who would you want?
Any wrestler on this show.
Has to be active. So
you
it can't be like
active wrestler.
It can't be like Stone Cold. It's got to be someone active.
This would have to be.
And I'll make it easier for you. You can pick one from AEW and one from WWE.
Oh, I just wanted. I could do one overall. One active wrestler. Who's the most interesting cat that I would want to talk to on this show? I'm thinking Swerve.
Swerve is one of mine for sure.
But I'd love to talk to Kenny Omega. I'd love to talk to Kenny Omega, dude. I'd love to sit there and talk to him and get his thoughts on just wrestling in general and gaming and just all that shit.
So Swerve is one of mine. Another one, I think right now, Drew McIntyre would be a great one.
That'd be hilarious.
And then on the female side, I think Rhea Ripley. And then obviously I'm going to probably go with Liv Morgan.
Did you see that video of that dude that was interviewing her? And he was like, so you've been, one of the things about you is that you seem to make a lot of men fold just by looking at them. So could you just look at me and I'll just try to last as long as I can without folding? And she's like, okay. And the dude lasted 3 seconds. She just gave him that. She tilted her head and she gave him that look. I was like, bro, you lasted longer than I would. I wouldn't have been able to finish the sentence.
That's funny. That's great.
Rhea Ripley's a good one.
Yeah, I think because she's so over right now, hearing her point of view of things,
Oh, yeah.
And her and Nia.
She'd be so fucking sick of me. She'd probably just delete herself from the thing because I just wouldn't stop talking about that fucking match last year.
Oh, with Charlotte?
I'd just be like, that was the greatest fucking women's match. All time, it's like in the top. It has to be in the top 3, and it was definitely one of the best top 10 matches of last year. I would even say in the top 5.
Top 5 for sure.
But Nick, we have arrived once again to the end of this broadcast. So, all of our friends out there listening to this, we thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Wrestling is Trash. We appreciate you all very much. We thank you so much for the views and the downloads. We really would love you guys to jump into the comment section. Let us know what you think about Perry Saturn. Do you like Perry Saturn? What's Perry Saturn's finishing move called? What's his finishing submission move called? All these questions are up in the air for you to answer at any time in our comment section, or if you can hit us up on social media at Wrestling is Trash on Instagram and Wrestling Be Trash on Twitter. You can also ask us more Perry Saturn questions. And one of these days, my friends, I promise you, we're going to have Perry Saturn on this show. He will be on Wrestling is Trash. We're going to make it happen. So be tuned in for that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that on Thursday, you can get the live notification when we go live to react to this press conference and see what is cracking, what Triple H has up his sleeve, and what The Rock has planned for Cody Rhodes. So, Trash Boy number 2 is signing off for the night. I will hand it over to Nick, and he will deliver us unto the goodness.
I ain't got much to say. You already know on Twitter, Wrestling Be Trash, but on YouTube, Wrestling is Trash. Like Lou said, like, comment, share, subscribe, pass all the word. You guys are doing great. Let's keep it up. Let's keep on moving. That's all I got. We'll see you guys. Hopefully, some of you live. Just to remind you, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. If we have international followers, for some reason, I apologize. I don't know time zones, but 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific here in America on Thursday. That is all I got. Until then, enjoy your wrestling.
Absolutely.